Thinking black men are out here thriving and surviving and doing the things they like to do, enjoying their life on this sad mudball that we live on called planet Earth, and staying away, excuse me, from the dysfunction of the so-called community. Thinking black men, a lot of them have come to the realization that the community and the Maggles and the BWs that reside in the so-called community are health hazards. They don't want better lives. They don't want better futures for their offspring. They want to continue to waddle in the cesspool of chaos, corruption, nigga ain't shit culture, thug culture, gang banging culture, selling drugs to the other people that look like them, that live in their community, and allow the community to be ran by the overwhelming majority of worthless women. Thinking black men know that they have options. Thinking black men know that they don't have to settle for a woman that don't give a shit about them, think they ain't shit, or any other thing you can come up with. Thinking black men know this. That's why a lot of thinking black men are SYSBM. A lot of thinking black men are just, choosing to do the things that makes them happy. And all in these YouTube streets, you got Maggles and these bald-headed eagles, trying to shame and, denigrate and talk down to black men who have decided to choose other women to start families with, or whatever they choose to do. Now in these YouTube streets, you got a lot of BW channels to where they, congregate to and just talk shit about black men. Just talk bad about them, talk about how they ain't worth nothing, and they don't take care of their kids and all this stuff. But these same group of women are getting impregnated by the small amount of men that's creating all these bastard babies. And then they try to paint all black men as being this way. And thinking black men know that they're full of shit. And it's one thing that I never and probably never will understand. It's why another black man would try to shame a black man for choosing a different type of woman. The majority of BWs, and I'm just going to talk about here in the United States because I don't, live abroad. I can only speak for what goes on in these here United States. The overwhelming majority of the BWs that's in this country aren't worth a grain of salt. I'm just being honest, they're not. Now, when anybody knows that when you deal with a woman, there's a level amount of bullshit that women just have just because they're women. And we all get that. But the level of BS that the BW takes is just ridiculous. I never see, Asian women, Latino women, or women of any other ethnicity, just literally in private or in public, just say the men in their group aren't shit. But in these YouTube streets, especially in the black sector, you have numerous of channels where the BW is just, dogging black men out, just dogging them out, saying all kind of bogus shit, and talking about how black men are dominated and they're not doing anything and nothing else. I mean, why would any man with any common sense want to be with a woman that has that type of mentality, that nigga ain't shit mentality, that strong, independent, I don't need no man mentality? And you got these bum ass niggas trying to shame other men because they choose to go get with other women that's more cooperative. Like, where does the logic kick in with that? The overwhelming vast majority of men that try to shame brothers for choosing different women or going their own way or saving themselves, the black men that try to shame other black men for choosing a more cooperative mate, them niggas is just bitches. Flat out, they're just bitches. And they're also just trying to score pussy points with these raggedy ass hoes. You got one prominent BW YouTuber in the black sector of YouTube that talks about how black men ain't shit and they're useless and dominated, and then she goes out and get pregnant by the same type of man that she talks about. Like, who in their right mind goes and get pregnant by a guy that's got 4 to 5 other kids by 4 different women? Like, who does that? Who in their right mind does that? And then these bitches, after they're all used up, pussy all stretched out of shape, body count high as fuck, they're past their prime, think that black men that got stuff going for themselves should choose them and their bastard kids. Like, you got to be a stupid motherfucker to actually think that a man's supposed to take you with your bastard kids. I can understand if the woman maybe had 1 kid, but that bitch better be very cooperative. But to have 2, 3, 4, and 5 kids and think you deserve a man that's worth something to come in and be the cleanup man? Fuck no. And for all you bitches that think swirling is your best option, then white dudes don't want you. Y'all getting with the bottom of the barrel of white men. Ain't no white man with status is gonna take any of you raggedy ass bitches. They're not. When you see a lot of these BWs out here with white men, they're with the bottom of the barrel. He couldn't even get decent looking women and decent cooperative women in his own group. That's why I overheard with you. Any white man with status ain't fucking with the BW. They just not. They just not. And now you got these magos and these bald eagles, because they're in panic mode, and the B1s and these hotels and these pro-blacks all in a panic because brothers are choosing other women of different cultures because they want a woman that is not competing with them for the masculine energy. It's not coming at them with transsexual energy. Shout out to the Minister Jab for pointing that out. A lot of these BWs have transgender energy, these tranny energy. Some of them even look like trannies. A lot of them are beginning to look like straight men. Nobody wants that. Nobody. None. Me being a black man, there's no way I can sit up on a panel and agree with the Cynthia G or any of the rest of them bald-headed broads that's talking shit about black men. And you got black men that sit up on their panels and listen to that shit and agree with that shit. Nigga, they talking about your dumb ass too. And when you ain't around, they talking about your dumb ass. Thinking black men know this. That's why thinking black men have decided to exercise their options. That's why these raggedy BW women get pissed off. That's why they get mad. Because they don't want that SYSBM trend to keep trending. They don't want brothers out here to realize that, the BW is not their only option. You don't have to be stuck with a woman that don't even give a fuck about her kids, definitely don't give a fuck about you, and going to compete with you for the masculine energy. See, the reason why these BWs, they get pregnant and have kids by some of the lowest men in the group is because of control. That's why they'll rather go work 10, 12 hours a day and he stay at home and play the PlayStation and the Xbox and become a Madden king, is because she can control him. Because the thinking black man is not gonna allow for that to take place. A thinking black man is gonna have a program. A thinking black man is gonna come with an idea, with a agenda, and she's gonna have to get on board with that agenda, or she's gonna get thrown away like a piece of garbage. The BW in the community is one of the biggest problems that black people in general have to deal with. These are some of the most, they claim, the most educated. They get all the most college degrees, but those degrees ain't in STEM fields. They're in useless fields. And they get a little government job, a blase, and whatever else little handout they get, and they think that they're better than black men, which is not true. Or one of these bald eagles talking points, or well, they're only running around with the bottom of the barrel and other ethnicity groups, or they're only with fat white women. If a black man is with a fat white woman over a black woman, that should really tell the black woman where she stands in her sexual market value. Because if a brother rather be with a fat white woman than a black woman, if they had any kind of logic and reason, they would be like, damn, I got a better body than this woman, and this man still don't. He'll rather be with that fat white girl, because that fat white girl is going to be cooperative. She's going to get on his program. Most likely, she's going to do things to subsidize her being overweight. But an overweight black woman or a black woman that's in shape is not going to cooperate. They're not going to get on this plan, and they're not going to follow his agenda. And you wouldn't even be a problem if a black man is walking around with a fat black woman. Black women ain't got nothing to say about the black man that's with fat black women. But if he goes and get a fat white woman, then there's a problem. And it is a problem, but it ain't a problem for the black man. It's a problem for the black woman. That's where the problem is. Because at the end of the day, this guy would rather be with a fat white woman that's cooperative, that is feminine, that might be a little overweight, than deal with the nigga ain't shit mentality of the BW. I was watching Red Supreme TV 1 channel, and he was playing a clip from this bald eagle, and she had some white guy on her, and they were just talking all shit about black men, talking about all the black men that don't take care of their kids and all this other stuff. But I didn't hear that bald eagle talk about how Jason Roger Pope, aka DJ Kid, gave all them black women in South Carolina HIV. I seen some bald eagle YouTubers, try to, blame that on black men. But this is the type of behavior that you see in the so-called community. And thinking black men don't want no part of it. That's why they leave the community. Who wants to live in those type of conditions? Who wants to marry or be in a relationship with somebody that they know that really don't give a fuck about them or the kids, and don't want to follow his agenda, don't want to be led by a man? Who wants to live under those conditions? So they get the fuck out of there. They go find women that's a little bit more cooperative. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. I don't blame them at all. Me personally, learned at a very young age. I'm in my 40s now, but I learned, my brother put me up on game a long time ago, and he told me a lot of these BWs out here, they really ain't shit. And the ones that are good, the competition is so stiff that she can choose the best of the best. So you really have no choice but to, go choose women of different cultures, unless you want to be stuck with the ghetto mentality of the average everyday bald eagle. And I learned my lesson. I didn't get any kids by her or anything else, but all it took for me to see things and experience things, that I knew that I had to leave that shit alone. And don't get me wrong, all women gonna come with some BS, but the level of that BS is a lot different. It's a lot different. And to be honest, I think the BW is really made for white men. I don't think the BW is made that's the white man's real woman. Put it that way. The BW is the white man's real woman. They work hand in hand destroying black men. And when I heard that video that Red Supreme TV1 play of this black woman and this white woman just, going in on black men, I was just shaking my head. But never once did that woman talk about how the white guy in Texas smacked the shit out of a black woman, pulled a gun out on her. They don't never speak up on when white men be beating up on these black women. Or you see these Asian men out here smacking the teeth out of their mouth because they done disrespected him in his weed store. You know what they do? When the Asian men smack them bitches around, they go right back in the shops and patronize them. That's what the BW does. And then criticize a black man if he's out there protesting. I made a video with a clip in there. Some brothers out there protesting, which I wouldn't have been doing. And these motherfuckers standing in line to get in the shop to get more weave after he just smacked up on a black female. And then some of the black females that was out there had the audacity to try to bring heat and smoke to the black men that was out there protecting them. Or trying to protest. It's so many black men across this country with the same story. It's hard for it not to be true. And then when you turn on, sites like World Star, you see these bitches out here fighting in the street, like fucking savages. And behaving in all, just disgusting behavior. It has to be true. It's not like we don't have evidence to point this out. And these are the women that magos try to shame brothers that practice SYSBM or want, a different woman of a different ethnicity. You got these magos out here trying to shame them, and they should go back, to the BW or they should only deal with BWs and put up with their bullshit. Because these pro-blacks and these hotel niggas are never going to address the underlying real problem of the community, and that is the black bitch. She is the number one problem of the community. She has been in control of the community for a very long time, and it's a smoldering crater and on the brink of having no generational wealth at all. The only thing these women, although the vast majority of them are good for, is passing down generational poverty. And thinking black men don't want their kids in that situation. Thinking black men don't want to be going through the court system with this child support bullshit. Not saying that other ethnicity groups of women will not take you to child support. They will. But the level and the stupidity that comes along when you're dealing with the BW is not even comparable to the shit that you probably would deal with a woman from a different culture. And that's just being honest. And all you got to do is just go on the internet. It's thousands and thousands, probably millions of videos of the BW just acting a complete ass. A complete ass. You know. So thinking black men know this. And these magos, they try to shame them. That shit's not gonna fucking work. These millennials, these generations, these younger generations of black men, they already hipped on game. And you know, they're done. And I would always tell a black man to explore his options. For one, it's not a lot of good black women out here, so you're gonna have to find a different woman from a different culture anyway, unless you just like, you know, dealing with fuck shit all the time. You like living with the ghetto mentality and being with a woman that believes in the nigger ain't shit culture and that she's better than you because she got a little bullshit ass degree. But the bitch still dumb as the box of rocks because she constantly getting pregnant by different niggas. Those are the type of women that these magos and these B1s want you to get with. Women that ain't worth the food stamp. All you gotta do is watch how they treat their kids. Watch how they behave around their kids. The overwhelming vast majority of black women don't give a fuck about their black sons. They could care less. You know, they groom their black boys to be soft, milquetoast. That's why the reason why, you know, it's so many, you know, gay men in the black community in the first place. You got these, you got these boys walking around in purses, you know, committing heinous crimes and doing all type of shit that will lead them to either a grave or in prison. You never see the BW, you know, raising hell when it comes to the lack of funding that the schools that their sons go to receive, or the lack of education that their son is receiving, and why their sons are always being recommended for special ed. You don't see them out there doing that. You don't at all. And that's because they grew up with a ghetto mentality. They lived in a nigga ain't shit culture, and they subscribe to the white female feminist ideology that has got them nothing. It's got them nothing. And they still subscribe to it. Me personally, I think black men can achieve great things. These magos, these ones that go hard in the paint for women that has a mentality like a Cynthia G, or any of the rest of these silly hoes out here that think they know what a man want when they ain't even a fucking man. Following behind them people will lead you to disappointment, will lead you to failure. And thinking black men know this. Most thinking black men, they want families. They want to be able to pass down knowledge and information to their offspring. They want to raise their offspring to where they can survive and thrive in these said United States. But when you go into the black community, the overwhelming vast majority of the men and the black boys can't read past the 5th grade level. And that'll be the dad's fault. But if he goes to the if he goes to the NBA or to the NFL, then that's all mom. That's all mom's hard work. She gonna take credit for that. But if something turns out negative, then that's the dad's fault. It's not like these women were duped when they got pregnant by these guys. They had 4 and 5 kids by 3 or 4 different women. These women wasn't duped. They knew that this man had multiple kids by multiple women, and they still chose to lay down with them. And then when the shit didn't work out, they want to complain. Like I said earlier in the video, you got to be a stupid motherfucker. If you're a female, you got to be a stupid motherfucker to get pregnant by a guy that got multiple kids by multiple women and not a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. If you are a BW and this is the type of behavior you're engaging in, then you're a stupid motherfucker. Period. It's a reason why the vast majority of black men don't have kids. It's a very low percentage of black men that do have kids, and they're the ones making all the kids. And a lot of these women will get pregnant. You'll have 10 women in a group. 7 of them then got kids by the same guy. Multiple kids by the same guy. I seen there was one guy in Tennessee, 3 black guys in Tennessee had over 70 kids by like 30 or 40 different women. Maybe you should wait until after you marry. Maybe you should do that. But these are the type of men that supposedly get their pussy wet. These are the men that have the swag. But a brother that educated himself, got a lot of stuff going on, and just because he might like comic books or playing video games, then he a lame. I say, thinking black men, run as far away from these mofos as you possibly can, because they don't want to see you happy. They want to see you miserable, because they're miserable and they're going to stay miserable. Period. If you like the content, feel free to share it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Peace, and I'm out.